Okay, so hopefully everyone's tuned in and can see us. Today we're looking at the Cooler Masters Summit. Adam and Sam, can you basically tell us what we're doing here and introduce yourselves?
Sure thing. So I'm Sam. I'm the marketing guy at Cooler Masters UK, and because Computex, we can't travel over this year, we decided to kind of bring all of our new products alive. So we've created this island on GatherTown, which is this online app. So we can show you around our virtual island instead of our virtual booth, and we've got lots of cool new products to show you. And I'll pass it on to Adam.
Yeah, hi, I'm Adam Beaumont. I head up the UK for the consumer products, so peripherals, chairs, desks, and monitors as well.
Okay, that's pretty good. So what do we actually do then? What are we going to see here?
So we've got power supplies, peripherals, cases, chairs, other cool new things. Basically, everything that's new or coming up in our product stack, as well as a few other special little tidbits that you'll see along the way.
Okay, looks interesting. So I'm presuming around, I'll just move around with the arrows on the keyboard, or is it, yeah?
Yeah, you've got to be within the vicinity of us to be able to hear us and us to be able to talk to you.
Right, okay, no problem. And don't jump in the water as well, I'm guessing.
You can try, but we've not been able to do it
yet. Yeah, we've been attempting to jump in the water, but unsuccessfully, because whoever made this did a good job, as it turns out. But I think if you right-click on me, Phil, and hit follow, that should keep us all within proximity, so we can still chat to each other while we explore the island.
Okay.
There we are.
Yeah, and he's running around like a maniac. Okay. I must admit, the Master Bus looks a little bit different than the last time I saw it a few years ago.
Well, I think the Master Bus is going through some updates at the minute, so that might be a sneak peek. So, when you see the product on the island, you'll be able to interact with it by pressing X on your keyboard.
Yeah.
So if there's anything you want to see more detail about, it'll open a little landing page when you press X. So I think our first one is Thermal Island. So let's go through here. And we have arrived. So this big monolith here is our brand new tower air cooler, the H60T. So if you just tap X next to the product when it's highlighted in yellow, it should come up with some grapes, but eventually load up to a landing page.
Right, okay.
So the H60T is, of course, our 6 heat pipe air cooler, equipped with 2 of our sickle flow fans, which is our kind of flagship fan at the minute because of its performance. The H60T is kind of going to be positioned in the mid-range of the market, so somewhere between the Hyper 212 and the Stealth series, which we launched earlier this year. And because we're so happy with the kind of success of the Stealth launch, we wanted to kind of bridge the gap between the kind of entry-level Hyper 212 and the big old Stealths, which can compete with the high-end air coolers from other brands. So this is kind of a middle ground for the people who kind of want decent performance and don't want to spend too much money on their CPU cooler. It's a dual tower heatsink, and it's actually got heat pipes that are bent backwards almost to make sure that whatever height of RAM that you put in your system, it's going to be compatible.
That's good then. I must admit, we did review a product a little while ago from a big brand, and you could pretty much get no RAM in it at all, to be honest.
Yeah.
Unless it was aimed at top-end gaming, and you just couldn't fit anything in it. It was a bit daft.
Yeah, this is kind of what our designers are really good at doing, because you'll see in the design that the heat pipes they're not symmetrical on the plate, and that is for a reason. Yeah, so its height is 158 millimeters tall. Sorry, that's completely wrong. Yeah, 158 millimeters of height, which means that even if you are, kind of using a narrower chassis, or even shock horror, not a Cooler Master case, you'll be able to fit it in there pretty decently, because it's not the biggest thing in the world, basically.
That's good.
We're expecting this to hit towards the end of Q4, towards the start of next year, depending on shipping and everything like that. But I'm super excited for it because I think there's long been a need for something that is better than the Hyper 212, but not quite as overkill as the sort of big monster air coolers that we do. So I'm very happy that we're plugging this gap almost.
Yeah, I'm going to say it looks pretty good, to be honest. I'm going to say I know the 212 is quite a popular one, so we've used quite a few over the years.
Yeah, me too. Like one of my first builds had a 212 in it. One of the old school ones with an old school mounting mechanism and everything. Shall we move on to our AIO?
Yeah, let's have a look, see what we got.
So on this table here is the PL360 Flux. So this is our top-end AIO. So we launched the Illusion series earlier this year, the Mass Liquid Illusion series, that is. And those were kind of a mid-range solution. They looked great. They had ARGB Gen 2, but they were kind of like their performance was very solidly in the mid-range. But what we're doing with the PL360 Flux is that this is going to be our flagship AIO cooler.
Okay.
So we've got a dual chamber pump in there, ARGB Gen 2, 3 of our sickle flow fans, again, which are really high performance. And we kind of tuned it all with ARGB Gen 2. So it will come with an additional controller in there that you can put in your system so that everything will play nice, basically. Because we all know that ARGB can be a bit of a nightmare at times, but we've made it as easy as possible to make sure that you can get it set up and looking pretty as quickly as possible, really. So this is going to be available in both 360 and 240 variants, and it is also going to support the 1700 socket from Intel. So we are looking ahead as well.
That's pretty good, and I can see you support TR4 as well, which is good as well.
Yes.
No separate TR version or whatever. I had to do that with mine. I think I've got the ML360 TR. You have to get separate one to fit the
we have had separate TR4 coolers in the past, but we're hoping to be compatible out of the box here.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Any questions so far, mate?
No, I'm going to say it looks pretty good, to be honest with you. I'm going to say everything seems to be fine. We've got a few people watching, not the busiest, because obviously we didn't plan it 100%, so it was sort of a last-minute thing. So the most will probably watch it after they've woke up this morning and actually open the stores and stuff. But
yeah. So over here we've got our new Mobius Fan. Details are really light on this right now, but it's kind of like our current concept for a next-gen fan. So if you actually take a look at the fan blade design, we've kind of changed it up a little bit. This is for airflow and kind of noise considerations. So we don't want the fan to be big and rattling around or like be really, really noisy at high RPM. But at the same time, we don't want to compromise on performance. So our designers have come up with this little kind of amazing new kind of fan blade ring design here that we're currently prototyping. This will be a way off right now, but we kind of wanted to showcase kind of what we're planning in the future. So if we launch stuff like kind of mid toward the end of next year, it might just be equipped with a Mobius fan instead of a sickle flow. So please look forward to that. Like our sickle flows are great. I have like 3 or 4 in my system already, and they pretty much handle almost everything I can throw at them.
Yeah.
So.
That's pretty good. Is it like a scoop design and a sort of curved at the same time? Is it the actual fins?
Yeah, and we always develop the fans to have like sort of different configs. So if you want like a reverse design of the fan, so if you didn't want kind of cage at the back and use it as kind of an intake with it showing at the top, we will be doing those SKUs as well for all the kind of niche needs as well. It's something that we already do for the simple flows, and I'd imagine we'll do the same for the Mobius fans too. So it is kind of a scoop design, and we can kind of mess around with the shrouds based on what configuration and how pretty you want it to look, basically. It's pretty cool because I know some places, or some other fans, they're very stuck with their design. So if you wanted to run it in kind of reverse, so like as an intake into your system with it showing visually, which is a trend in case design at the minute, you'd have those big ugly stickers or or back shrouds there. But
Yeah.
with Cooler Master, we always we always have consideration for that kind of stuff too.
Okay, that sounds pretty good, being able to have the two options. I must admit, sometimes you have to position things the wrong way around to get the best airflow, and being able to do that, that's always good.
Right, shall we move on?
Yeah, go on.
Grand. Adam, this is your domain. Here we are. So this is probably one of the most exciting products here for content creators like yourself. So this is the Stream Engine. So Cooler Master are making their first foray into the streaming market with this, frankly, incredible looking device. The basic concept is it's an all-in-one live stream mixer. So you're not going to have a separate streaming device to start streaming from. You just hook up your input, you plug your iPad into it, and you start streaming. That's the idea. So all the buttons and knobs and everything allow for different scenes and transitions, and kind of volume rockers and things like that. So it's a super professional solution to something that I think a lot of people have barriers with, which is getting your first stream set up and actually going, because I think we both know that it can be finicky sometimes.
Yeah.
Sorting all your scenes and inputs and transitions and everything like that. So we've made it as simple as possible, and it kind of even removed the need to have a PC to stream from.
That's pretty good then. So it's sort of an on-the-fly streaming boxes, probably, or magic box, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, basically, and we have an array of inputs and outputs that you can plug into the back, including composite audio, a mic, Ethernet. You can have 4K input. It will spit out 1080-60 Max, but it can handle 4K inputs. So yeah, basically you all control it through the iPad app, and that also renders it out. You can stream and record at the same time as well using this device. And this is very much something that's very Gen 1 for Cooler Master. Like, we didn't just want to kind of be like, okay, we're gonna start streaming. We'll start making streaming products and just make the same stuff as everyone else.
Yeah.
We wanted to do something different, something that's targeted, towards the hardcore prosumer market, and that's kind of where this is positioned. It is more of a prosumer or broadcast product, and is priced kind of accordingly. Like, this thing, it won't be the cheapest thing in the world, but again, it's not really meant to compete with a guy who's going to stick an Elgato with his PC.
Yeah. Yeah, slightly different, but yeah, it's nice to have that sort of feature there. That's pretty good. I'm guessing there's no word on pricing or anything on that yet.
Adam?
So I heard rumors be around between sort of 799 and 999.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be the range that we're looking to price it at.
But I'm not sure. I think that might be under the components team on this one.
Yes, this particular product it came out of one of our components teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is indeed the range that we're looking at, $799 to $999 US.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you can tell, it is a bit of professional broadcast kit, basically. So it is competing instead with your Black Magics and things like that, instead of a capture card or something like that. Do you have any questions about it? Because I know it's kind of confusing.
Yeah, well, I can pretty much see what it does. I'm going to say the first picture I saw, I thought, oh, it looks like a big, huge, massive box, or something. But then I scrolled down, and it's more like a pad sort of size type thing. So, but yeah. So you can you hook up like a PC to it as well if you wanted to, or is it just to be used solely via like an iPad or whatever?
I think you can hook it up to a PC if you wanted to, like as an input or an output.
Mm-hmm.
So you could use it in conjunction like that. But all the rendering will still be done through the iPad instead of the PC, because that's just how this product is built to function, really. So you can still have all the customizability of using OBS on your PC, and having all your pre-existing stream setups on there, and have the iPad rendering through that, kind of almost as a pass-through. But the iPad will still be there to ultimately render out and stream out the output.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. I'll say it looks pretty unique, let's put it that way. So it'll be interesting to see how it pans out when it comes live. But I suppose if it's got the ability to pretty much carry with you where you want, I don't see wireless on it. Is it just Ethernet? Is it on there?
Yeah, it will be Ethernet because, like, you could stream out hypothetically using your iPad, but if you, in case you don't have the best connection, we've got an Ethernet back there for you.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So, shall we move on?
Yeah, feel free. Keep on going.
Right, over to the desks.
There we go.
Adam, I'll hand over to you for this one.
Okay, so yeah, we're launching a range of desks. So I'm just waiting for mine to load up. So the GD160 ARGB is the higher end one. So as you can see, it's got RGB on the front and the back on the strip. It's 160 centimeters wide, and it's got full cable management at the back as well. What also is quite unique on this one is it's got a motor in, so you can set it to 3 different heights. You can see on the first image the little control panel, so that control the height of the desk and the ARGB as well. You can also use our software on PCs to customize that color. The top of the desk is like a big mouse mat, and it's if you do spill any drinks on it, it won't absorb in. It will just sit on top, meaning that it's easy to wipe away.
Okay, sounds pretty good. Is it adjustable to standing height, or is it just different seating heights?
So I haven't got the dimensions on. The dimensions aren't there actually, but yeah, it does 3 heights, so you can sit or stand. Below that, there is a 120 version ARGB, which is the same desk but 120 centimeters, but doesn't have the motor. And then there's a non-RGB one, which is another 160 centimeter desk without the motor.
Okay, sounds pretty good.
3 different models. That one that you're seeing is the highest end one.
Tell you one thing, what everyone always asks us whenever we've done a desk review is how much weight it can hold, because one of our previous reviews, I'll say the name, AK Racing, they sent us a desk to review, and we asked them how much weight can it hold, and they basically turned around and says, well, we can fit 2 big guys from the warehouse on it with no problem. That was their official official weight limit. I was like, okay. But yeah, so make sure you've got a weight limit on it.
Yeah, fine. I have seen it somewhere. So let me dig out the product sheet and I'll find it for you.
Yeah, don't need to do it now, but for obviously when it's live, but it's always good. But yeah, it looks pretty nice. That does RGB on there. I presume you can turn the RGB off if you didn't want the RGB on.
Yeah, you certainly can, yes.
Yeah, so that looks pretty good. That one does.
Right. The weight that it will hold, so I think the max load is 100 kilos.
Okay, so that should handle most people's cases then.
Absolutely, yeah.
And a couple of big guys at the warehouse.
And it will go, the height will go 65 to 130 centimeters.
Okay, that's good then. So I'll have to measure that up. The problem with me, because I'm so tall, even a tall desk for me is low down. So I'll have to get tape measure out and figure out if that'll be enough for me.
or just buy 2 and put them on top of each other.
Well, that's an idea, I suppose.
There we go.
Double tier desk type.
Yes.
Yeah.
So move on from there, and we'll go up to the monitors. If I can get in there as well.
There we go. So you're definitely expanding on all your different ranges and stuff then. You just don't do cases and coolers anymore.
Sorry, you broke up a little bit then. What was that, sorry?
I said you're definitely expanding on the different things you do. You don't just do cases and coolers anymore like days gone past.
Becoming more of a kind of lifestyle brand as well as the component brand as well. So you can see here, so if we scroll down to the bottom on the monitors, you can see the little table of the 4 products that we've got coming out.
Yep.
So we started the kind of most entry level one, which is the GM27-CFX. It's a full HD panel, but it's 240 hertz and with a curvature of 1500R. All the latest DisplayPort and HDMI, adaptive sync, 1 millisecond response time. But what's quite unique on all of these as well is that the color accuracy and the color gamut is quite high. So on the 2 entry level ones, it's DCI-P3 90%. The higher end one is 95%. So that's kind of where we're going. You can see that the stand of all the monitors is the shape of the Quartermaster logo. And the GM32 FQS has RGB in the base as well. The stand is kind of like all completely metal, so that when you it's nice and firm. When you do want to tilt or swivel the screen around, that will stay in place. So we've got up higher end. We've got we're covering, like I said, 27-inch, 34, 32, and two 32-inches, 2-inch models. Mixture of VA and IPS panels, and then other than the most entry level one, they've all got high resolution as well.
Okay.
And refresh rates as well.
Are they HDR as well? Did you say?
They are indeed. Yeah,
yep,
it is there. So the HDR is.
It's on the 27-inch model HDR.
I'm pretty sure they all are. It just doesn't say on there. I can't remember what HDR they are.
Right. Okay. Well, that's good with new Windows 11 coming out and all the auto HDR effects and everything. That's good.
Yeah. And the two higher end ones as well are G-Sync compatible, which is really good too. So they're not entry level. These are fairly high end in their kind of spaces.
Okay, yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Anything else you'd like to know them?
No, it seems pretty good. When about are they coming out? Did you say roughly?
So I'm hoping for Q4.
Okay.
However, I was told this morning it might be the end of Q4.
Okay.
So it's hopefully I want them in as soon as possible. So we are, and so does the business unit. So we are pushing to do that.
Okay, and what sort of price range roughly?
So they go from, so it's not confirmed yet. So it will be confirmed in the next probably 3 to 4 weeks. But at the moment they're retailing between, I think the most entry level one is about $350, $350, and the most expensive is about $550 to $600.
Okay, so not too bad then. Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
So fairly competitive, but like I said, that is only preliminary pricing. We will have to firm it up near the time.
Okay. So it looks like we've got a chair up next. Oh, we did have.
Do you want to do this? Do you want to do this one? Ben? You know a little bit more about this one than me, and I can't get it.
You can't get the page open.
There we go.
This is the Hybrid 1 chair. So this is the latest in our Cooler Master chair lineup, which we've been adding to over, pretty decently over time. So what you'll see as a trend in gaming chairs is it's a very kind of crowded market with a lot of similar products and similar product that perform similarly as well. What you don't see is things like the previously launched Ergo L, which goes for an ergonomic kind of angle to the whole gaming chair market. And it's pretty much more of an office chair, right? So the Hybrid 1 is very much almost a successor to the Ergo L, in the sense that we're more focused on comfort and making sure that whoever's sitting in the chair is supported with lumbar support, and that everything's breathable. So we've put the Flex fabric on here, rather than focusing on having a bright red chair that looks like a gamer chair, if you know what I mean.
I hope you're not saying anything bad about my AK racing chair I'm sitting on at the moment, which is black and red.
Well, yeah, the whole idea is that we're going for a more professional look.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got the Muscle Flex mesh stretched across the entirety of the chair, which means you're not peeling yourself off it in summer, which I know that's exactly what I do on the chair I'm sitting on here. The backrest reclines, and are we bringing this one to the UK, Adam?
Hopefully.
But other than that, details are quite light on this one.
Yeah, a lot of these products are very new, and we've not yet had confirmed costs and things like that. So yeah, it's TBC, but hopefully.
Yeah, but that isn't the last of the chairs we're here to talk about today, fellas.
Probably noticed the big one in the corner.
Yes, indeed.
Well, it's not automatically let me out of here. How do we get out of this screen? Just press the exit top corner, or does that cancel the whole thing?
Yeah, exit top corner, it's fine.
Yeah, there we go. So the big chair. Oh yeah, the one you can't miss.
Yes, definitely. So we have partnered with D-Box to create this kind of haptic gaming chair. Basically, it's called the Motion One, and this was again developed in partnership with D-Box. So those are the guys who did the 4D cinema seats.
Yeah.
So the ones that tilt, rock, and rumble.
Yeah.
And brought it into a consumer gaming chair product.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's very exciting. It's very unique. I think other brands have started to kind of announce their gaming chairs, but you know, the difference that we have here is that we actually have the D-Box licensing on here, which means that yes, your chair will definitely be compatible with a huge library of games and films. You know, so games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla will support it, and of course you can get access to you know, thousands and thousands of films, which also has this functionality. You know, I think a D-Box seat is fairly expensive if you want to bring it into your own home cinema. So by comparison to those, this isn't too badly priced. So the let me just see if I can reference the price here.
It's between $2,000 to $2,500 RR.
So not pocket change, but it's still cheaper than getting a custom one in your house.
It's a very high-end chair.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a very high-end chair, but again, if we're thinking you want D-Box in your house, it's a pretty decent solution.
Yeah, well, definitely an option, and it's definitely unique. So basically what you're saying is when you get blown up in Call of Duty, you're going to get chucked out of the chair to the other side of the room.
Exactly, yeah.
No comment.
You need a seatbelt with it.
We are not liable for any injuries that occur in this chair.
Yeah, get a seatbelt installed on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very cool partnership that we're launching there, and I think it's something we're probably going to be first to market with it in comparison to everyone else's haptic gaming chair. And you know, they're not guaranteed to be compatible with a huge range of haptic content, which we are as well. You know, there's a separate subscription that you can also get that gives you access to all that as well. So you're not just going to be left with a crazy haptic gaming chair and nothing to use on.
That's good then. There's nothing worse with new technology when you sign up to it and then you find there's only one game what comes out what supports it.
So they're the curse of the early adopters.
That's not the case.
But yeah, that is not the case here. And you'll find on the island as well, we actually have these little booths. You can interact with these booths, and what they'll do is that they'll open up little feedback forms. So we're on the press version of the island, but on the public version, people would get to fill these out, join focus groups, basically give feedback on all the products that were shown here today as well, which I think is a cool little feature. We always do listen to our community, so this is kind of very important for us.
So yeah, if you want to go around later, well, you've obviously got the link, so if you want to go around later and have a look at it, that'd be good.
Right, let's move on.
We can have a look at that.
Off to you guys.
Yeah, I'm guessing we're at Peripherals now.
Yes. What gave it away?
I don't know. It was probably that bridge in the corner.
Right, so this keyboard is the CK721. Yes. We announced this over at CES at the start of the year. It's a 65% layout keyboard with a multimedia knob in the top right corner. You can connect to it via 2.4 gigahertz Bluetooth, and Bluetooth 5.1. And the top plate is removable as well for all your cleaning needs, or if you want to clean the whole keyboard, clean your keycaps and things like that. And we also are adding a wrist rest onto here, and the switches that we're using are our own switches. They're going to be available in red. Sorry?
Our own spec keyboard from TTC, I think.
Yes. So TTC are manufacturing the key switches.
Go
for it.
Sorry, so the hybrid wireless technology is really cool because it will work with pretty much every device out there. So for Windows 8 and above, any kind of tablet or iOS, Android tablet, iOS, so you can literally use it with your iPad, your tablet at home on your laptop as well.
Yeah, you can connect up to 3 at a time and switch between them on the fly as well, which is a very cool.
And that dial in the top right, that's customizable, so you can set it to pretty much whatever you want it to do.
Okay, that's pretty good. And you've got a few different colour combinations as well.
So you've got the space grey and the silver white. You can see in some of the other photos below that it's got the switch to switch between the mode, and then also a little hole to put the dongle in if you need to.
Okay, that's pretty good. So you got the options there.
The aluminium plate can also come off, as Sam mentioned. So if you do need any kind of routine maintenance or to give it a clean, then it's nice and easy as well.
Yeah. So, for example, if someone's been eating crisps or whatever while they're playing the games and made a bit of a mess, they can clean it out.
Absolutely. Or getting it dirty in and out of trains or anything like that.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how much dirt we find behind people's keyboards and stuff when we were replacing keyboards on laptops and stuff.
Yes. So if we move up to the big white mouse.
Okay, that's a big white one.
So this is the newest, or one of two new mice that we're launching very soon. So this and the CK71 keyboard actually should be out in about 6 to 8 weeks, I think. So this is the new MM731. It's available in 2 colours, black or white. And it's got the hybrid wireless technology as well. So it can work with the wireless 2.4 gigahertz, Bluetooth 5.1, or with the USB-C cable. Now, what's really cool on this mouse, you can see there's no kind of honeycomb design, and it's coming in at 59 grams.
Okay, that's pretty good considering it's no holes.
Absolutely, and I haven't played with it. All the we've got a couple of samples in the Netherlands office, and they've said there's no give in the plastic. It's still nice and firm. So yeah, this is going to be a really, really good product for us. And yeah, it's also coming out at a good time. It's still got the high-end specs, so 19,000 DPI and the optical micro switches as well. And of course, RGB on the logo, and I believe on the scroll wheel.
Okay.
What's the pricing on it, Adam?
So this one, I'm glad you are saying, is coming in at a retail price of £89.99.
Okay, sounds pretty good considering it's got all the different connectivity options on there. That's pretty good, and it's nice to see a little bit of RGB on a wireless device as well, because you don't always get it, do you?
And 59 grams, like I said, I believe is one of the lightest gaming mice without holes, certainly without holes. So then if we move over to the little black one.
Little black one. There we go.
So we can see here, if you didn't want the wireless, you can have the wired version, which is fairly similar spec, similar design, except that it's even lighter at 48 grams.
No, if that's going to blow off your desk when you're breathing it.
So yeah, it's as you can see there, the RGB and the scroll wheel. You can set that. That's customizable as well, and the same with the wireless version. So if you wanted to display different colors when you're doing different DPI settings, that's all available to you as well. So, but other than that, it's very similar to the MM731, which is the wireless version.
Yeah,
this comes in a little bit cheaper, doesn't it?
Yes, so $64.99, I believe, on the wired.
Yeah, that's pretty good, especially for the weight of it as well.
Yeah.
Some people do really like the really light mice. Personally, I prefer the heavy ones, but everyone to their own. But yeah, it does look pretty good, though, I must admit.
Cool. Shall we move on to the next island?
Yes, for sure. Let's go up. So, it's one of our favourites. We're stuck inside it. It's the Nr200 that we're releasing in a few more different colorways. So the Nr200 was a community developed product. It was received incredibly well, so we're releasing a limited edition. Color variants, I think there's only 3,000 of each color worldwide. It will be in Sunset Orange, Nightshade Purple, Caribbean Blue, and Flamingo Pink, as so wonderfully named from someone on our European team. So the Caribbean Blue and Flamingo Pink variants have PCI, like whited out side panels and PCIe risers and things like that, and the orange and blue models, purple models will have black. So these colors were actually decided on by our community as well, and we're hoping to release them in the next month or two for the same price as the standard Nr200P.
They definitely stand out, the colours, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It's pretty cool. It's fantastic. And this island is a bit awkwardly designed. So what I'll ask you to do next is hit the case marker on the top of the page of the Nr200 variants, and that should bring you to a landing page for all the cases we've got today.
Okay, it doesn't seem to be doing anything. Let me go try it again. So case. Oh, here we go. Case products. Come on, bit of a delay.
Brand. Make yourself go to Max product info.
Max, yeah, you can't miss the Max.
we've got a new line of cases. So the Max is going to be for entry-level builders who, might not know or want to research the exact combination of products to put together. And it's also a highlight of the evolution of, our greatest products, basically. So the first in this line will be the Nr200 Max, so an ITX system once again, but it comes fully equipped with an 850 watt gold Vsfx power supply and 218mm AIO included out of the box, as well as a PCIe Gen 4 riser. We've actually changed the tooling in the Nr200 Max, so we've got a really cool kind of like swinging out GPU mounting mechanism, and that's available to kind of slot into triple slots as well. So even if you've got a graphics card with a really big and beefy cooler, you should be able to fit it in there as well. And we've changed the tooling inside the case as well. So the 280mm K radiator sits at the top, and you could throw almost anything in there, because I think what you'll see with a lot of these kind of all-in-one, especially with small form factors, is that they compromise in some way. Whether that's going to be on cooling or on the power supply, and that is naturally going to limit what you're able to put in there. But theoretically, you could bash a 3090 and a 5950X in here, and it'll be fine, because we know the Nr200 performs.
That's pretty good then. I must admit, the first thing I noticed was that swinging part for the graphics card on there. So on a hinge, you say that bit, is it?
Yes, it's on a hinge that you can swing out and slot in and out as well. So this will actually come in cheaper than you would like than to buy them separately as well. So if you bought the Nr200, if you bought a PCIe 4 riser, if you bought an 850 watt gold power supply, and if you bought a 280mm radiator, that would come to a little bit more. I think it will come to about €396, but non-final pricing on this one is €349.
Okay, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, and we're hoping to bring this out in the next couple of months, so 8 to 12 weeks on this one. And if you navigate onto the case page again and scroll a little bit further down, you'll be able to see HAF. Now, anyone familiar with Cooler Master will know that HAF are a legendary line of cases.
Don't tease me with this one. I must admit, I do like my HAFs and my HAF-X's and stuff.
So yes, HAF is back. Phil, I'm happy to say.
So it's not the H500 anymore or whatever. This is
the H500.
This is a completely different thing.
It's a different thing.
Right.
Yes.
Where do I order it? Where do I order it? And you've sold me already, and I've not even looked at the specs.
All right, I'm going to give you a quick lowdown first. So, two 200mm ARGB fans at the front for intake with a mesh front panel. One 120 exhaust at the back, and if you look at the top of the drive cage, we've added another fan on there that's actually got adjustable angles on it. So whether you have a GPU that has a flow-through cooler, like a Founders Edition 3080 or 3090 or whatever you might have, or if you have a massive air tower cooler, you can actually start to direct the airflow on that hinge. Another feature that we've added, our case team have added, is wonderfully the top panel actually pops off. So if you're, mounting a radiator onto there, you're no longer going to have to kind of cramp your hands while screwing it all in, because of that weird radiator fan sandwich that you have to usually kind of assemble together. This is based off of the trends that we've seen, and the trend is that people want the best airflow, quiet noise operation, and that's what this is all about. So the 2 200 mils will be quieter than if you had, 3 120s or 2 140s, because of it's a wider fan diameter. You can run it at a lower RPM, and it'll still move the same amount of air. This is coming out in the next couple of months, towards the end of Q4, and we are also working on a flagship HAF product. Ooh. So this is just a teaser.
Okay. Is this special flagship one due this year, or is that going to be next year?
It's going to be maybe revealing it towards the end of this year, start of next year.
I'll add it to my Christmas list then. But yeah. So is this going to actually be completely replacing the H500 then, or is the H500 still going to go on? Okay.
The H500 is being replaced by the brand new HAF 500.
Okay.
if we scroll down on that case page a little bit, we have the Masterbox 500. And the Masterbox 500 is a system intended for like SIs and kind of entry-level builders. We've got a lovely ARGB panel at the front, but you know it's not at the cost of airflow. We've still got intakes at the front there as well. And this takes forward this kind of design ethos that we're moving forward within Cooler Master, which is we're going to have you pop the top off if you want to put a radiator in there, because it's well easy. So this is kind of intended for, you know, probably a lot of folks that you know, Phil, who build a lot of computers and sell pre-builds. So we've made this as easy to build as possible, and that's been the real highlight of the design, while it still looks eye-catching. So you've got all your cable grommets in there, everything that you'd expect out of a case, all while having that still that 2021 amazing, cool future design element in there as well.
Yeah, I must admit, it does look pretty good with that fan and the highlights of the RGB on there, to be honest. And yeah,
often RGB can be like two in your face, so it's really nice and kind of subtle here, isn't it?
It is. It's not all in your face, as you said.
This will be retailing for, I believe it's $89.99, but I could be completely wrong. And that is going to be releasing towards the end of this year again.
Yeah, definitely looks good, and I can probably see a few people using that. So I do like how the top pops off these days, rather than having a cover over the top, what you have to slide out like on the H500 sort of things.
Yeah, we've just made it as easy as possible to mount those radiators, because I think everyone's collectively realised that it's a massive pain. So, and if we never get to the case page again and scroll all the way down, we've got one last thing to show you, one last case even. And that is the TD300 mesh.
Oh yeah.
So the TD500 is I think it's a classic now, isn't it? The TD500 mesh is a fantastic case, and we've seen that both in terms of sales and in terms of airflow.
Yeah.
So the TD300 squishes it a little bit into a micro ATX form factor. So it comes with two of our sickle flow ARGB fans at the front, with space for an exhaust at the back as well, and space for radiators at the top. So this is going to be releasing towards the end of this year again, and it has all that same technology that you know and love, which is that poppable top, and all the cable management and power supply shroud, and space out all your stuff. So there's not much more to say about this one, except for you know and love the TD500. Well, yeah, we've made it a little bit smaller in case you want something a little bit smaller to suit your build.
Yeah,
so
I do.
More options, basically.
I must admit, I do like the mesh fronts on these. Obviously, it's the high airflow, but then depending on the angle you look at it, the RGB fans do look a little bit different, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And before we move off of the case island, we're also, I believe we're one of the first to market on PCIe Gen 4 riser cables.
All right.
So we'll be releasing the PCIe Gen 4 riser cables in the next 3 months, and we'll also be updating our universal GPU brackets with PCIe Gen 4.
Looks pretty
any
good.
Questions about anything I've just shown you?
I think you've pretty much answered everything along there. So I think it's just yeah, let us know when the half is out. Is probably the best thing I can say on that one. But yeah,
that's the word on everyone's lips right now.
Yeah,
when is the half out?
I'm gonna say I think I've had pretty much most variations of the half over the years, to be honest with you. And we've still got the half X in our shop. We use it as the main till system. So yeah. Right, so where to next? Is it power, is it, or?
Power, yeah.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Power. Oh, everyone keeps disappearing on the top. There we go. Right, power.
Where's it gone?
Oh, can you hear me?
There we go.
Yeah. For some reason, everyone just suddenly disappeared.
Right, it's all proximity, so you have to walk with us.
Oh, I was just clicking the button on the top at this time. Sorry. So let me let me walk with you. Here we go.
Yeah, just right click and follow, and that should be it.
Yeah.
Welcome to our PSU zone, our power zone. So the first one that we have to show you is something that we've shown off a couple of times in the past, which is our XG Platinum line. These are still quite early. I have no release dates or price for you, but it is our first power supply that we are making completely in-house, so we are not partnering with a separate platform to make these. They're 100% Cooler Master, and these will soon be available in 650, 750, and 850 Platinum lines with 10 years of warranty and fantastic Japanese capacitors, so we haven't really skimped out on an LE element of these, but we still have to figure out when we're launching them and what they'll be priced at.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Fully modular, of course, because it's pretty much a standard now, isn't it? So,
yeah, and a lot of things, unless it's budget.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, but even that, we're seeing more and more what we class as budget getting to modular now, anyway, as well. So
yeah. So if we move up here. Have the XG Platinum Plus. So it's the same as the power supply you saw before, but we have added an ARGB fan at the top and a passive monitor for how much power your computer is using on the side there as well. And this is interesting because it actually comes to the USB header on the power supply as well that you're able to plug into your motherboard for enhanced access to ARGB features and also fan curves as well. So this is the same story as the other PSU I've just shown you, which is no release date or price yet, but they are.
Yeah, interesting with that little LCD display on the side. That's for sure.
Pretty neat.
Yeah. It's quite unique, that one. So it should stand out in most people's cases for people who like the extra stats and everything.
Yeah, definitely. So we're moving down. This will be the PSU for most people that we're going to be releasing very, very soon. This is the H Gold series. So I think in terms of sales volume, you see that the golds are the kind of the go-to for most enthusiasts.
Yeah.
So this is our update, and we're using a semi-digital platform again, so you can connect to your motherboard for enhanced, monitoring and customization. Quiet fans, 10-year warranty, and they're available in steps from 550, 650, 750, and 850. So it's a power supply. There's only so much you can dress it up. I really do like the design on these ones. It's quite clean. It's quite classic looking. It looks like a power supply is wearing a suit somehow, and I very much like that. We're going to be waiting to launch these in the UK a little bit. So we're going to maybe be looking towards the end of Q1 or the start of Q2.
Okay. Within the next year.
Within the next year, hopefully. Well, we just want to kind of test out to see how these do in other markets and see if we want to bring them to the UK 100% or not yet. So that is still a little bit in the air. But we'll be sure to let you know if we do.
Yeah, that's no problem. Look, I'm going to say it looks slightly smart with that on the side without having to go over the top. So yeah, it's pretty good if you've got a little window in your case.
Yeah, and we've got something really special over here. So these are the Vsfx Platinum power supplies. Again, these are super early prototypes that we've just got to show today. But we make SFX PSUs as well. We make them in steps all the way up from 650 to 850 watts currently. The difference here is that these are platinum rated, and they will be coming in two different models. The first model will be 1,100 watts in an SFX form factor, and the second model will be 1,300 watts in an SFX L form factor. And that is a huge amount of power for the form factor that you're talking about. I don't know if you've ever held a SFX PSU, but they are bloody heavy.
Yeah, they're heavy. I'm surprised that there's such high wattage, to be honest with you. I'm going to say you'll struggle to find anything to put in a small form factor machine what'll run that, probably.
Who knows what kind of GPUs will come out, what kind of sockets will be released with all these mad power demands, or if you're overclocking, like what you might need, or if you have a mobile station for overclocking and starts sucking up power. If you get, I think it's a Strix 3090 in there, an 850 watt PSU just ain't gonna cut it.
True.
So you're gonna need something higher than that. And if you're running a small form factor build, then you're pretty much out of options. Well, not anymore, thankfully.
Yeah, it does give you that option, as long as you can fit the 3090 in the machine.
Yeah, you probably could in the old Nr200 there.
Probably, yeah.
So it all works in harmony. We have no date, no date of release, and no pricing on these yet. These are super early prototypes, but we hope to bring them to market as soon as we can.
Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. So, what's next on the list?
Just over here.
Follows gun again, so let me do it manually. Yeah.
This is the Orb X. It kind of is its own kind of massive gaming enclosure. So it's a chair, it's a desk, it's a zone, an immersive, multi-purpose, semi-enclosed workstation for gamers and professionals is what the website tells me. So
it looks like one of those old 80s arcade machines you used to get in and sit in, sort of, but brought up to date a little bit.
Before my time, I'm afraid. The Orb X can support to 3 27-inch monitors or one big 49-incher. So the ergonomic chair included is pretty amazing as well. It's got a footrest, lumbar support, a headrest. So if you want full legs off ground experience, you could with this. At the back, you'll see a compartment to put a PC in there, and the desk actually has things like wireless charging built into it, as well as a full kind of array of USB outputs and inputs. And there's a lovely trimming of ARGB all around it as well. And it also comes with its own kind of stereo sound system built in too. So it's like intended to be kind of fully immersive. These will be in the range of $15,000 per unit. And they will weigh in at 300 kilograms each.
Right. Okay. So basically the price of a car, but it does look very interesting. I must admit. I don't think the missus will let me have one in our office, but
it's one button wake up as well. So you press the button, and the top will rise up. The lights will all go up, and then the chair comes out as well for you to get comfy. And then press it again, and it will all close down on you.
Yeah, it does look pretty impressive, to be honest with you.
It's very, very cool.
Yeah, ideal for these people who still have to work from home for doing their work. Definitely, if you've got the money, it's definitely something to have a look at. I must admit, that does look pretty cool.
If you scroll through some of the pictures that are further down, it will give you a bit of a clearer idea of how the top comes up and stuff, and all the lighting on it.
Yeah, I've just had a look at the control panel and everything there, and you can see the back where you can stick your PC. And that's pretty good.
Really cool bit of kit.
Yeah, it does look pretty decent, to be honest. And 49-inch up to, you say, or 327s?
Yeah, up to 49-inch or 327s. So fully immersive, because if you get, say, a very popular 49-inch curved panel released from a competitor, for example, that starts with G, there is a cool experience to be had there. If you follow us down a little bit, there's one more thing to show you.
Okay.
This is C Mod X. So these are bespoke design projects that we work on, and we're happy to say that we're going to start to look to bring them to market. So the Crazy Shark computer, our C700M in a variety of colors and customization options. We're hoping to actually have people able to purchase these kind of one-of-a-kind almost incredible PC pieces. And this will be an initiative that we're looking to launch maybe at the start of next year-ish. I took a look. We had a chat with the guys running them yesterday, and I think it's kind of incredible, the designs that they've got lined up. Not 100% ready to talk about them quite yet, but I've seen them all. They're fairly incredible, and people who want a PC that is, unique, it's not just built with off-the-shelf parts, but actually kind of almost a bespoke boutique item. This will be for you, and we'll be selling hopefully through our partners.
Yeah, I'm going to say it looks pretty good. Just had a quick look at that video. So yeah, but you got quite a few different variations then.
Yes, definitely, and of course there's a KFC console there.
I've not heard about that for ages. Is that actually going to happen, or?
I'm just going to wink and nod at you.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Right, and that about wraps it up for our Cooler Master Summer Summit. So anyone can actually have access to this. This is public. We're on a press server. So if anyone wants to come and take a look at the island for themselves, have a wander around, you can do. There's also a little mini game called Clicker Master that you can play on the island to win up to $1,000 worth of amazing Cooler Master goodies. Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure to show you around, Phil. Do you have any final thoughts?
Well, it's definitely a unique way of selling everything, let's put it that way, or showing stuff off, so especially in this day and age. So, but yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm going to say it's hard to say exactly what I'm going to say. I'm looking forward to quite a few of those products, to be honest. Have I mentioned that I'm looking forward to the half? Enough, but yeah. So, but yeah, you've definitely got some unique products coming out there. It's not just the bog standard, oh yeah, we're going to add another fan on it, or we're going to add a little bit of RGB on it and so forth. The stuff does look quite unique. So, that's pretty good, I must admit. I can't remember the model of it. Was it the one designed for builders, the one with the just little bits of LED RGB down the sides and the one fan at the bottom? Was it the NR500? No.
The Flux 500.
That's the one, yeah. So I've got that many different case and model numbers in my head. It's easy to forget them all, but I'll definitely have a wander around on my own when everyone's not watching and have a look, see exactly what you got. What's this Easter egg then? Is there anything special in here?
You can find Easter eggs on the island and win prizes.
No, it's just the prizes, is it? Okay. So
yeah,
I didn't know if it was like another special something that you're not telling everyone about and hiding them.
Right, I will love you and leave you. It's been a pleasure to show you around, Phil.
No problem.
And I hope you enjoy the island.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's been pretty good. Thanks for joining us, and obviously keep in touch. And let's hope we get some review samples of some of these things to show off to all our members and viewers.
You can't. You're far away. You can't hear you. That's why we're chasing after you, Phil.
Sorry, that's my fault. There we go.
No,
yeah,
Same's
gone anyway. But yeah, I was just saying, basically, yeah, just thanks for joining us and so forth. And I hope we get to see some of the review samples for these products and so forth in the future, and hopefully work with you on other products and so forth.
Sounds good to me.
No problem.
Cheers for your time, Phil.
Cheers.
Bye.
See you later. Cheers.